Alright, guys, so Hobby Porn Star is back, and I've spoken before about, I've spoken before about how on a grand enough time scale, long enough time scale, I always win, you know. I'll take my glasses off, I look even sexier. I think these glasses don't really suit me, but maybe they do, I don't know. Uh, I just, I just got down with a girl whose name in English translates into sweet, and she was like, "Sir, can you take your glasses off, please? Can you take your glasses off?" And I'm like, "Yeah, all right, I will." Yeah, I do look rather handsome. Anyway, even more handsome. I'm handsome and sexy anyway. I mean, sexiest man of 2025. But uh, forever, actually. I'll be porn star. But yeah, the secret to winning on a grand enough time scale, is everything we've spoken about before. It's persistence, it's extreme amounts of hard work. Like today, I saw this article that the Netherlands is going to 4-day work weeks, not because the government told them to, but because that's what people are doing there. So gay, man. Russia's gonna take you over. Scandinavia, Russia's gonna take you. I mean, it doesn't work that way. You look at what any CEO says, anyone that's made it big, they have to work 18 hours a day. Look at what Trump does, Elon Musk. He fucking sleeps on the factory floor. Richest man in the world, doesn't even own a house because he's got no time to go back to a house. You gotta work, man. I mean, you can't just say, whatever it is that you do, if it's fitness, you gotta be extreme. But there's no in the middle. Like you can't say, go light one day, this, that. I mean, you can, but it doesn't work. It's either this or that, man. I mean, the guys with the results are extreme guys, intense guys, as I'm called. Yeah, I recently saw a comment on X about some idiot reposting something about Goggins being some derogatory comment about him shitting in his pants and all this, and it's so stupid, man. I've covered all this about Goggins before. Like, guy ran 40 fucking miles, all his accomplishments, but they won't mention that. They'll just mention the shitting in the pants thing. They won't mention the other part. People aren't fair, right? I mean, and the vast majority are losers, that is. You gotta mention both things. I mean, your fat ass couldn't run 1 mile. I mean, so you cope by doing hill sprints and stuff, but uh, probably, some other fat ass posted that. I mean, of course, he always removes who, because even these liberals and cocks, they're like women. They hate each other. I mean, they'll just, band together when they have a common enemy, Like now, like Trump is the common enemy now, so otherwise they're always like women infighting and, oh, I don't like that about him, so I'm not going to mention him by name, but they'll agree with him on other things, and what they agree, they're not going to say unless it benefits them. Everything's got an angle, It's all gay shit, Total gay shit. You gotta look at results, man. Who's got the results? Like, on a grand enough time scale, though, and it's, fitness-wise, you got guys. I mean, let's just talk business. On a grand enough time scale, I always win. And let me just tell you, the key to that, everything else included, which we've already spoken about, watch my other videos and all that, is to do something, anything. I have gone hoarse shouting it, so I'm not gonna even shout it now. I'm just gonna talk about it. Uh, they have to do something, anything. Like it would be as simple as just take a walk outside. There's always something to do. Like years ago, or not even that long ago. I mean, daily actually. I've got thousands of dollars sitting in a PayPal account that it was just stuck. I finally got that out, and for weeks I had no access to that account. Nothing. Then I did something completely unrelated to PayPal, GayPal, whatever you call it, and the universe worked in my favor. I got an email out of the blue, kind of like our Amazon account is going to be unbanned. Watch this space for more. Kind of like the old YouTube channel is going to be unbanned. Look, I'm a huge. Even before I knew who President Putin was, best leader in the world, utmost respect. Uh, I was always the same way, plotting, scheming, waiting. Be patient. Patience is a very fantastic virtue if you don't waste your time while you're waiting. Most guys would just be like, um, and of course you gotta keep fight, like Trump says, fight, fight, fight. You gotta keep fighting, you gotta keep doing all that. But the real key, and it applies to life, fitness, business, do something, anything. Uh, it could be as simple as give your girl a call. I don't know. Fucking get a rub down. Like anything. It could be, write something, do something. People waste too much time complaining, and they sit around idle because they think nothing is going to change. Well, nothing will change if you think that. Uh, Fitness wise, guys that post stuff like this about Goggins, they're in terrible shape themselves, and it's so gay, man, the cope. And I'll tell you, this relates to, some of these guys will troll me, and some of them will, on a grand enough, like we've all know the story of Bozo Schofield. What happened? He trolled me very brutally, race, called me a pedophile, set up a Facebook page dedicated to me with other people's kids. Then their families contacted me, and, that was taken care of. Now he's in the Looney Tune bin. What happened? On a grand enough scale, I win. On the other business, there was this guy that, he wanted to submit. And so I said, pay to play. And I'm not going to get into the gory details of what he was into, what happened. But let's just say he lost his entire life savings, £25,000, and he lost it very brutally. And he was, giving me lip, giving me attitude. Now, the funny thing is, I didn't actually get that money. Another guy got it. But my goal wasn't his money, thinking about it. Or I would have got it. I don't care. £25,000. What is it? Like dollars? I mean, I'll make that money. But I don't give a shit. But there was another guy that, this guy's actions brought that other guy into the picture. And like a predator, he pounced and he took the money. But it was basically my work behind the scenes that actually allowed that to happen. And this guy is ruined, completely ruined, humiliated, ruined, everything. And literally, he is. Because he's weak. That's on the other business. Then, family, I've spoken about it before. For 20 years, they wouldn't talk to me. They'd spread lies about me. Ex would, parents would, entire family would. They'd all sit around the dinner table. Oh, Raul's the problem for everything. And they'd all play the fucking victim as if they never did anything wrong, And that changed a couple of years, last year, actually. I mean, you could argue that it changed because they needed to do it or circumstance, but whatever it is, the results are what count. And business-wise, trolls. You have these trolls. One in particular, he posts gay shit like jumping around like this as a monkey and says, Animal Kingdom workouts promotes a lot of those movements. Those are good. But, dude, you gotta lose weight, man. You're fat and out of shape when you jump up and down like that. This shakes, that shakes. And it's fine if he at least admits he's fat and out of shape, but he won't do it. I'm not fat. But it shows. Like, I've been on a grand enough time scale there too. He literally begged me, though he'll never admit it, to stop multiple times. Because he's way below me on the business order, pecking order, and all that. He's really a nobody that's trying to be a somebody, but he doesn't have it, and he's gay, he's a loser, he's a hater, basically. he'll agree to something one day, then the next day he'll break it. Typical gay stuff. And you know, it's interesting how these losers will cope by saying neither one of us won. Hey, you came to me, I didn't come to you. And, it's stupid. Like, the guy messages me saying, I mean, I sent the guy, a message, okay, I told him that I was brutally, I was so brutal on him that he was forced to get off the facts. He was forced to stop posting book reviews. He was forced to stop. These are the facts. And, then he got back on there. He did his very best to take us down. Nothing worked. In fact, I became an influencer and all that. So thank you. I mean, trolling you, profit troll, but or attacking you in response to hey, people say Ukraine is winning. It's so stupid, man. We all know who's winning there. Anyway. Uh, And then he got back on X and he's like, gay cope, I'm like, if you really want to end it, send me a DM and we'll go from there. And he sent me one saying, I knew you'd contact me. Me. I had you on block everywhere. I mean, not anymore, because now, that 1% sliver of a chance that you had of attacking, and you never really had a chance. But, I leave nothing to chance. But now I'm so far ahead of that guy in the pecking order. It's like he's just another one of these losers. So I don't mention him. I don't talk about him. I mean, just as a logical, discussion, basically. Um, I'll be free, you'll see. It's all there on the site and all that. And so you guys will see. There's plenty of guys like that. There's another idiot from Italy who keeps complaining about pictures and who does black and white pictures? Like, dude, I'm bare bones. I don't even like using dumb phones. Although I'm forced to get another one today um, because I have two new phone numbers because I blocked so many girls on all my phone numbers that I had to get two new ones. Plus, and I don't want to really get another one. It's okay, you know. Uh, but I mean, I've given you all these examples on the website. I've given you, so much. The secret to winning on a grand enough time scale at anything you do, anything, it could be anything. Persistence, discipline, hard work, we've all heard about all that, and you guys are just sitting there going, yeah, and then, getting back to YouTube scrolling and all that, which is fine. You'll remain a loser. But not my job to get, if you don't want to win, then you don't want to win. Be fat, be gay, be a loser. I mean, yeah, namaste, uh, I mean, look, the key is this, and I've said this so many times, do something, anything. You might not think that action actually leads to a direct result in what you want. But when you have nothing to do, and when you're, faced with all these problems people keep complaining about, when you're faced with, you take some action. Could be anything. It does two things. Number one, it turns the task over to your subconscious mind. And if you really make use of your subconscious mind, you'll solve problems while you're sleeping, while you're dreaming. Uh, I literally get money out of nowhere. Like, it just comes. I mean, I could tell you the specifics, but it just shows up in my bank account. Quite literally. Now, you may argue that there's a physical medium for that to happen and all that, but it's like, money that I've forgotten about ages ago just shows up. Hell, subconscious. You know, uh, you turn whatever the problem is over to your subconscious mind, which then connects to the universe. The universe then is a very logical place, okay? It'll do all its checks, balances. Emerson, the sage of Concord, I've met him once in 2019, in spirit, of course. Um, every wrong shall be righted, every right shall be, and every, well, Basically, he uses far more flowery language than I ever could. Well, not that I ever could, but I ever will. But it was basically the laws of compensation, and basically, it's basically the wheel of time. If someone does something wrong to you and you can't really do anything about it right then, if you apply these principles, simple principles of constantly keeping that in mind and taking action, some action, any action, could be as simple as, go talk to a girl, or whatever it is you want to do, eat something, whatever, then the universal court of justice works slowly in most cases, but justice will be dispensed with compound interest in either case. If you were wronged, you will be righted plus compound interest. If you wronged somebody, you will be righted with compound interest. You will be righted, or that person will be righted with compound interest on a grand enough time scale. But the key is the universal court of justice is very smart, and it's actually the only one that matters. God's court, or Allah's court, whatever religion you believe in. I like to say the universe. Uh, and You have to take some action. If you were wronged and you just sit around doing nothing other than complaining or taking meaningless actions, like uh, then number one, an idle mind is the devil's workshop, and number two, the forces of the universe are not going to work in your favor. Like, I keep talking about this force and outcome, right? Everything I've ever wanted had to be forced. Because, men are all feminized by default, and the feminism, and, men are basically, since 1970, the new slaves, in general. I mean, that's just the societal psyop. So you have to force things as a guy. Even if you're not that kind of, you don't have that kind of family, you gotta force those things. And if you force those things, I mean, the way you force those things is not always by taking direct action. It's by taking some action, anything. I mean, let's say you're looking to make more money. Let's say you're, and you don't have any, direct opportunity in front of you or whatever. Well, then you do some push-ups, do some pull-ups, do something, anything. The key is to keep yourself so busy all day long with something, anything, that your subconscious gets free reign. And then things happen based upon, your beliefs. Claude Bristol, another guru, um, repetition of the same chant, the same affirmations, and most affirmations are gay. Putting on beads, chains, and mantras and chanting, 108 times, all that bullshit. It's about belief. Once that belief becomes a deep-seated conviction, which happens in your subconscious, I believe it's here, but I don't know. Hannibal would. But he ate the top of the head, so I don't know. But, once that belief, oh, that was, I think, the pain center or something. But, once that belief becomes a deep-seated conviction, things begin to happen. Okay? Now, in order for that belief to become a deep-seated conviction, the subconscious has to get the message. The subconscious is not going to get the message if you're constantly not letting your conscious mind give it the message. If you're constantly, worried about this, constantly lack mentality, if you're constantly posting about, you're like, okay, let's face it. I got the money, I got the girls, I got the fitness, I got, I'm a big porn star. I mean, I've always been told I could walk into a director's office, movie director's office, and I could, and he'd hire me instantly. Yeah, even when I was fat. There's this Indian actor that was very popular, successful, as a hero, not a villain, and he was fat and chubby. But he was a real guy, though. He, patriarch, and might have been fat, so he didn't have that. So he died early because he drank a lot and smoked a lot, and I think he died, somewhere around my age, or I don't know. But so you gotta have it all. Like, this is another thing I keep telling people. it is not enough to just have money. We've covered that before. If you're a loser, you'll always be a loser, even with money. You'll be more of that. It's just an amplifier. It's not enough just to have girls. You also have to have money. It's not enough just to be fit. You also gotta have a business. You gotta win in all areas. That's because it's all interlinked. It's your life. And if you don't win in all areas, then on a grand enough time scale, some little thing will pop up and you're gonna lose. Somebody's gonna take advantage of that one little weakness you were too lazy to fix. Uh, I've always been told that, and so if you're sitting there attacking somebody, like I posted about my mate giving me a foot massage and being submissive and all that. Hey, this whole in the middle crap of treating your so-called servants nicely, slaves nicely, is bullshit. I mean, ultimately, what are they there for? To serve you, right? Servant, slave, whatever it is. It's psyop garbage of be nice and all that. Women will take advantage of that anyway. Uh, like, ultimately, you can be nice and make her serve, or you can be brutal and make her serve. But if you're nice, you're always going to have this thing at the back of your head that she's not really serving me. It's more of a business kind of thing. So it depends. I mean, if you're happy with that, yeah, but that's not what I want. Um, it's because it's either this or that, man. I mean, there's no in between. And if you troll people like me, if you whine about, or not troll, but whine and complain about people like me saying shit like, they like to run their mouths, they like to do this, they like to do that. God dang, I was thinking I'd do this on Tiki-Taki, 3 minutes short, whatever. But I'm already past 21 minutes. All right. So we'll do it here. But if you constantly keep complaining about these things, if you constantly, and so you want those same things, you just won't admit it, right? I mean, people don't admit things and it's so gay, man. I mean, if it's a black guy, then they're never going to say anything against him. If it's a woman, she could murder kids, she could murder, she could do what she likes. Nobody will say anything. If it's a colored guy, some of them, like me, they'll attack me because I'm a white man trapped in an Indian body, apparently. But, you got to be honest. You got to look in the mirror and say, hey, I have these weak points. I need to fix them. Instead, they gloss over them by wearing XXL clothing. But anyway, we were talking about... if you constantly spend your time whining, complaining, your whole X account is full of your social media, TikTok, whatever it is Instagram, whatever it is, I'm not sure, is full of complaints about one person. And these people are so dumb and so stupid that they think that, nobody else understands who they're talking about, It's just weird. I mean, say like you ask them who said something. Oh, some guy said it. Well, who? I mean, if I say somebody said something, I mention the guy by name. It could be anybody. Yeah, unless I've been specifically requested not to do it. In that case, I don't do it. But it's like, who said it? Like, some guys say that 35 cups of coffee is good. Well, first of all, you can easily Google and find out who says it. One person. Nobody else says 35, 2 packs of Reds and all that. I mean, they have this lack mentality of thinking that, okay, well, he fought all this, he fought all this, he got banned off of Amazon, YouTube, all that, due to gay bullshit. So, but despite all that, he's just going up, 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 up. I mean, it's interesting. You're broke, I'm up. You're down, I'm up. It's look, so they think that not mentioning him by name will not give him some sort of face or like. Dude, everybody knows. Nobody ever mentions Trump's good things, right? But everybody knows what he's done. He's the president. I mean, take it or leave it. It's that simple. And my point is this: if you constantly spend your time coping. You constantly spend your time denying yourself that which you truly want. Like, when you talk to most guys, every guy will say he wants a harem of women. Find me one that won't, if he's being honest. Every man wants it. 99.9% of men wouldn't ever get close to having it like I do because they don't acknowledge their deepest desires. Society says that's dark. For women, women have been conditioned since 1950 to brutally, accept it. And from birth, even the ugliest woman will say she's the most beautiful, and she'll walk up to men and say, "Give me money." You know, Women, you gotta learn from that. That's what I've done all my life. In my life, I was raised to be a slave, essentially, a tool for women. I've covered that in all my other videos and all that. My whole family is like that. It was very difficult fighting against all that. But I did it. And everybody has given up now. On that end of the thing. Submit to your wife, submit to your this girl, that girl. It ain't gonna happen. Uh, my point is, if you spend all your life, I could have complained, right? I could have just said, they're like this, they're like that, and so nothing will happen. But I didn't. I fought it. I fought every step of the way. And I won, ultimately, on a grand enough time scale. Hey, I look kind of like Brooks Cubic, don't I? If you look at Brooks with his glasses, that's a real G, by the way. He looks just like me. And, back on, he's a little thicker, but Brooks Cubic made those comments, man. I'll never forget. Keep the waist whittling up. That's the real G. These other fat guys that parade around selling books on pull-ups, yet use people that have bodies like me to actually do the pull-ups, are gay copers. Short, fat men, Mr. MF, I'm not going to bet we all know who he is. He's short, he's fat, and he promotes all this gay bullshit that everyone knows, that you lift a leg up like this and that's supposed to be the magic key to walking. No, it's not. What I promote in advanced hill training is actually the magic key to walking, and it's got something to do with this certain energy chakra and here too. But I'm not going to tell you what it is. But let's just say foot massage. I don't just get them to dominate them. I mean, I get to dominate the mate. I get them for many reasons. But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna, Brooks Cubic was a real G. X shape. That guy is. I mean, he's not that big. He's actually not a very big, person. I mean, he's about my size, but he's a lot thicker, is what he is. He's broad, like me, and he's thick because he does a lot of pull-ups and he lifts weights and all. I could lift weights. Yeah, I'd become, that, But he's got the X shape too. I mean, just not as sexy as me, but he has it. He has a thick kind of X shape, which is good. But if you really look at all the ancient Greek statues, you look at that's what people want. They want an X shape. Look at an ancient Greek statue. It's not chest and this. It's corded muscles along here. It's bicep. It's forearms. Corded, like mine. It's X shape, this part of the body. I mean, it's not about looking like a fitness influencer. I mean, if you want to look like an idiot, like jumping around like this and claiming that's fitness, I mean, yeah, that's fine, but you still don't have the X shape. You only will if you do what I tell you, because I'm the only one that has it, and I mean, at this sexy level. And the thing is, you spend your time coping and complaining, and what does that get you? It sends a message to the subconscious mind that you are a coper and a loser, and so that's what your results show. Again, you're broke, I'm up. I mean, it's that simple in any regard. You don't have the girls, I do. I mean, you don't have a business, you never had one, and mine got attacked so many times, yet we're going up, 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 up. So in all regards, I mean, because you send your subconscious a message of coping, and you deny what you really want at your deepest core. You're like a lot of these guys are gay actually, but they look at me and they have these nasty thoughts of I want to kiss him and this, and believe me, I've seen their private screenshots, and they won't admit it. At least admit it, right? I mean, that doesn't mean I'm going to let you do it, but admit it. Uh, if you spend all your time coping, complaining, sitting around like, nothing's going to change, nothing's going to happen, then your subconscious gets that message. Instead, if you take an action, some action, any action, uh, some action, any action, then you send a message to your subconscious that, hey, there's nothing to do with regard to this goal right now. So we do something else. In a sense, you work on something else without meaning to. Your subconscious mind gets the picture and it gets the photo, the photo, picture, whatever, that this guy is not going to quit. It sends that message to the universe. The universe sends it back by saying, let's give him more problems. This is why I say, I've got so many problems. You don't hear me complaining about all this. You never hear me. Have you ever once heard me complain about anything? No. I'm factual. Like any situation, I'll point out the facts, but then that's it. Because problems are good. If you don't have problems, you're not progressing. That's what it is. If you just want an easy life, then you'll just be middle class, gay, cucked, and feminist. That's what it is. It's about the daily fight, the constant, ongoing war. So says Guru Habib Lecter. I mean, and that is the real key that most people miss. Some people may be persistent, but you have to keep doing something, anything. Take a walk outside, do something, anything. That's my entire point. And I think we'll end this video on that note. Do something, anything, on a grand enough time scale. If you have the right frame of mind and you keep doing something, anything, and even if it doesn't lead to any result instantly or whatever, actions you take, trust me, years and years ago, in this latest case, Gay Pal, this was the year I got married. Remember that post on what was it, X or rawmukji.com, that I said September 4th is going to be a very big day, a huge day. Things are going to end and somebody is going to lose big. It happened, so a business-related action that I took in 2009 has suddenly shown up now. I mean, it wasn't even in my Glacier Mine storage. Like I have instant storage, I have long-term storage, then I got Glacier storage, but apparently it was there, and it showed up, and I was just standing out there smoking a cigarette, and hey, you got a payment. From where? I don't know. It's not even showing it. But it's there, and in today's dream, it was like, that's exactly what the dream said. That, hey, it was symbolic. I'm not going to give you the symbols, but something good comes. It's tasty. It's yummy. And so I asked who sent it. I asked somebody, I don't know. And I'm like, I'm going to take it. And, that's the situation. And miracles happen when you do something, anything, If you're sitting around saying, this guy runs his mouth, this, that, which a lot of you do, isometrics, by the way, I love doing them. You hear all these gay isometrics with bands and push against a wall, but you're missing the joints, you're missing all that. But anyway, it's pointless. Fitness, mostly, a lot of people don't believe this, but the fitness industry is pretty much fucking dead. It's been dead for years. Nobody cares, man. Nobody cares. I mean, for me, we have a very devoted tribe, devoted fans, so that's different. Because I've spent years and years building it, and I'm starting to see the results, Uh, but for most people, it's nobody gives a shit. It's sex that really sells. That sells in any economy. And yeah, so you gotta do something, anything. So like, look at you. Uh, I mean, some of you are sitting around, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. Well, you might not be able to get it today, tomorrow, whatever, but take some other action. Instead of thinking about what you don't have, which what most people think, you should think, well, I will have that. Just, and you have it. It's simple. I mean, most people just don't know how to use their minds. Uh, when I say constant hard work, and I mean it, I rarely even sleep. I mean smart hard work. There's working hard like a donkey, you know, and then there's working smart and multiplying that by hard. You know, Try that one on for size. Your life is gonna change. To end this broadcast, do something, anything. Please do something. Take some action, and you know, uh, like most people just sit around complaining and whining. After you take that action, so maybe you want to jump up and down like a monkey. That's great, but after that, these people have this thinking in their mind that, oh, that's done. Then they're back to their old cope mode, idle mind. Oh, let's troll him. Let's say he's running his mouth. What does that accomplish? Then do something else. That is the key. So the key is to be so busy doing something, anything, without anyone else being involved or any bullshit, that you ultimately make progress towards your goal. That's what it is, friends. That's just what it is. Habib Milakowit, the one and only Habib Lecter, Habib Pornstar, whatever the hell. How do you think I got to be called all these names? I mean, I never wanted to be a porn star. I never took any action. I don't even watch porn. I'm a movie star. I don't even watch movies. Uh, how do you think I got all these monikers? You look like this, you look like that, by focusing on a completely different thing, which wasn't even for looks. It was for fitness, to get the X shape, and climbing hills, because that's the passion for me. Hiking hills for hours a day, and I got all these other things while hiking. But it was so brutal, I couldn't think consciously. Because it used to be so brutal that you were breathing fire into your lungs, is what it felt like. Subtropical weather, one minute, it would start pouring. The next minute, like James Hadley Chase says in Vulture, is a patient bird. And I'm a vulture. I'm patient. You feel your shirt is sopped with sweat again. Not because of the rain, but because of the heat. It was a jungle, literally. I mean, they carved out a path in the jungle, and they used to have like Chinese tigers and all that there. Then the Chinese ate them all, so we know that story, how that ended out. Um, so it was a jungle, quite literally. It was so brutal that, okay, the first climb I think about, well, I've told you, the first climb I felt like a Mack truck ran over me, the girls were giggling away at me. I was like, hey, yeah, I enjoyed it. I got them anyway. Because girls don't give a shit. If they laugh, you just gotta make them laugh. They like stupid jokes, and they looked at this big fat foreigner, blah, blah, and Ann Lee is just floating up the motherfucking hill like a, I don't know, bird or something. And I'm laboring. I'm so fat. I'm laboring. So they'll laugh. It's funny. And then I just use that as an opportunity to talk to them. I mean, and this is what girls keep telling me. You meet so many girls on the hill and all that, and so it's not about just being fat and all that. For me, it's about winning in all areas. I could be fat and have plenty of girls and all that. Um, yeah, I could have my, but it's for me. I have to win at everything, even the slightest little thing. I cannot lose. It's simple. I'm that competitive. I always have been, and so it was so brutal that Then I did it for years. I got used to it. And it was so brutal that, but even then, the third or fourth climb, I could barely think, man. It was like the Undertaker slowly walking, that slow walk. All I could think about was get my workout done. That's all I could think about. And problems just solved, once that happened. I mean, because I was too tired to think consciously. I thought about them before I did the climb, but then after that, I was too tired, I just collapsed, quite literally. And that's really the key. The guys troll these brutal workouts and all that, brutal work ethic and all that, but every CEO praises it. Everyone that's something calls me the chosen one. They've always called me Jesus and all this, but they don't call me the chosen one simply because of my olive skin and brown and sexy black hair and all that, or because I serve so many people. Business wise, physically. I mean, I serve people. And but I do it. Not everybody deserves to be served, and the vast majority of people, they'll just take. They will never reciprocate. They will never give back. You know, uh, and so and this is why they call me the chosen one. But the main number one reason I keep asking people, why do you call me that? Because you are an extremely hard worker, is what they all say. Like Jesus was. He was a very hard worker. Uh, there's no way around that, friend. You have to work hard, and you have to keep taking some action. Take action. Do something. Anything. The wheels of the universe will start to churn because you're forcing an outcome. There's two ways. Okay, one, you know what action to take because this action may directly benefit your end goal. So you gotta lose weight. You go climb a hill. Okay, that's one way. The second way is you take an action completely unrelated to your goal, then your subconscious gives you another idea, which you then just implement. Like Napoleon Hill said, you got to do it now, now, now. People keep complaining. Hey, I'm the sort of guy, man, that even in the shower, I'm always like, quickly, 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 unless I'm with a girl and she's bathing me, like in China, like here, like whatever, that's different. But I'm like, quickly, 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 because I gotta go eat dinner after that. Even something as mundane, as simple as that, I want to get my dinner out of the way quickly, so I can then take the next action, like a computer, bing, bang, boom. That's me. And people troll it by saying, oh, he's constantly jumping up and down. He's constantly never at peace. And I don't want to be at peace because being at peace makes you a fucking loser. Uh, there's always something you can do. There's always something that's got to be done. And if you can't find it, consciously you must think, okay, what can I do now? And believe me, there's always something. Hannibal Lecter was locked in a fucking asylum for 6 years. He drew these beautiful paintings. There's always something you can do. Something. Anything. Even if you're locked up somewhere or whatever, you can do push-ups. You can do something. Uh, that is the real key. You should be in a permanent state of anxiety, but then if you're in a permanent state of anxiety, you attract bad things, but the way you don't is by then channeling that anxiety into doing something, anything. And then so that's the second way. One way is a direct action, the other way is you indirectly take action, and the wheels of the universe are forced to move. You have to force outcomes, especially as a man. As a woman, you're born as a female, you get it all for free ultimately because of how society is. As a man, you have to brutally force any sort of outcome that is actually desirable for you. That's just how it goes. And the way you do that, and indirect actions, like I said, I took an action in 2009 financially that fucking few days ago. I had completely forgotten about it. I checked my bank accounts and I got this money there. Okay, well, I've forgotten about it completely, and that's what it is, friend. Uh, you have to force things. You have to force an outcome. There's no other way. You either win or lose. There's no in the middle. Uh, that's just what it is, man. And the lesson of this entire not a diet trip, but for the copers and losers, they'll call it that, is that do something. Do something. Don't just sit around waiting for a miracle to happen. You're like, oh, maybe this will happen, that'll happen. Yeah, maybe it will, but do something. Because otherwise, in the meantime, your mind is a devil's workshop. It's idle, it's a devil's workshop. Human beings, by default, are, extremely negative. Because it's easier to be negative than to be positive. By default, we're all like that. So you gotta keep forcing yourself to do something which is, which makes you, then puts you in a positive frame of mind. You have a feel, keep taking an action. Okay, action A, done, bang. Action B, done, bang. Keep taking action. Anything, something. Go talk to your neighbors. Go do, it could be anything, but it's an action. You know, if you're just sitting around doing nothing at all, and, then you're just going to lose, man. Permanent lose. See y'all later.